Hello and welcome to my channel. If you have found this video, wow, that's incredible. Because I am a lazy ass bitch and I never have the time for filming, and when I have the time for filming, I don't have the correct lighting, and when I do, I don't have the correct sound. This probably sounds crappy. I apologize in advance because it probably does. So, anyways, I haven't posted in a long time, so this is gonna be crazy, and I'm pretty nervous to do this because I'm like running a short time. Anyways, I'm not gonna go into a long intro because I intend to skip them. They are boring to me. So, according to the title of the video, you're gonna be able to tell that today we're going to be reviewing Panic at the Disco's. This is Gospel. Now, first point that I want to get across. This is not a video reaction because I have already watched that video like countless times. I cannot even tell you how many times I did because I don't know, but it were too many to count. I may be obsessed, yeah, because I never got out of my emo phase. So yeah, it's not a phase anymore. It's a lifestyle at this point, Yeah. So, and the second point that I want to get across is that I'm gonna be pausing the video a lot because I want to explain some things that I am noticing, because in the little reactions they're not little. In the reaction I have seen, they don't point out so many things, and I just want to say what the video means to me and how I actually analyze it and how I think it goes and what it means and all of that. So, shall we get to business? So, like I have said before, this is Gospel. Everybody knows that This is Gospel is part of a trilogy. It starts out with Say Amen, and it goes then with Emperor's New Clothes. I'm not gonna be talking about Say Amen or Emperor's New Clothes. Like, I'm gonna probably do some commentary on them because they add up to the story and they add up a lot. But I want to focus on This is Gospel, especially because I have seen the videos already, so I don't really have to tell you what they mean. Besides, they are no complicated videos. Like, the history of Say Amen is pretty basic to me. It's like he stole the devil's key, he got the devil's powers, he was a badass. Because he was a badass. I'm in love with that man, I swear. And yeah, and then he got kicked in the balls and very much knocked out. So the reason for this being, knowing how Say Amen ends, basically, we know that Brendan is screwed up. Well, there was a bit of the heart, so Lincoln, and well, all of that. So he got pretty beat up, and I assume that when the police arrived, like, he's kind of dying because he received a pretty hard hit on the head. And once he doesn't have the key, I assume he doesn't have the devil's powers anymore. So that's pretty complicated. So that helps a lot to come across with my point for This is Gospel, because I don't believe that This is Gospel is necessarily a video in which he's fighting to live. Even though the song means that, I think that the imagery on the video, it's quite different to me, and it points at something else. So I want to go with that mostly. So, assuming that when he gets to the hospital, he's sort of like dying, well, we're gonna start off from that thought. So we get here and we go with it. See, this part in here, I have seen that so mane people believe that in this part, because he's singing, like he's in this bed, I don't know the technical term, but he's in this place laying, and because he opens his eyes, most people think that he's alive at this point, and I disagree. I don't think he's alive at this point. I think he's kind of like balancing himself between life and death, kind of like in limbo, trapped inside his own body. And I think that's the whole point of the video, that he's trapped inside his body and he's trying to get free. So, why do I think that? Well, first of all, he's singing in this part, and I think this is his soul singing. Yeah, crazy, but I think that's what is happening. That the first part starts out with his soul singing, basically. Okay, so my point in saying that this is his soul singing, it's because I believe that this is the only part left in him that is truly alive. So I think that's a part of himself who's singing. So yeah, it starts out with this is gospel and all that. Yeah, well, this is broken memories. See, this part. This part would, where they break it down in here. He changes pretty fast to this state from in which he's in this darkness, and he's, like I said, this is the only part of him that is alive, so it's singing. But it pretty much shifts to this part in which he closes his eyes, stops singing, and all of the doctors start out checking him out. And this is pretty interesting because I think he's in an operating table. I think that's what basically it's trying to convey, because he's getting the oxygen mask, and he's basically getting checked out all over. So that's why I think, for example, the story in Sayamin, it was pretty rough what happened back there, and according to everything that happened, probably Brendan ended up so fucked up that they noticed a pulse because there was a last pulse in there, so they decided that they had to take him to the OR. So I believe that's what's happening. And this is exactly that. Like, the choreography is the doctors preparing him for an operation that could save his life. Fucking God. I don't know how to speak. You know how that happens. So, we're into that, They are preparing him for the operation. See? They're checking him out all the time. And here in English, they put the red tape right there. And to me, that means this is where he's got a problem, and this is where we're going to operate. Because, well, then they grab the scalpel, so it's pretty obvious. I don't have to tell you. If you have watched the video, you know as well as me what happens, because then there's more people like me who are obsessed. So, see, this is what happens. And that part is pretty much interesting, because this is the moment in which everything breaks out. Like, how in operating tables sometimes people miss a heartbeat and they have to revive them and all of that, and he takes off the oxygen, which is crazy to me. Like, kind of an experience I think this is the first time he's kind of dying in the table, and I think that's what it wants to convey, that he's dying in the table and that he wants to die, because this is the moment in which he is like, if you love me, let me go. So yeah, this is such an intense scene. First of all, it's such a great choreography, and you see this part. I'm sorry, I'm pausing a lot, and I'm pausing in the worst moments. I'm sorry. But you see that they are grabbing him and strapping him against the bed, and all of that, and even the positioning of their hands, I feel like it means something, because maybe they are trying CPR on him, like, this is the moment in which he's like saying, if you love me, let me go, and like, he takes off his oxygen. I seriously think this is the moment in which he's dying for the first time. He's dying in the operation table, and that the doctors are trying to bring him back to life. See, and he's fighting because he kind of like wants to die, because yeah, it has been rough, and there's people who are basically, it's pretty much hard. See, and they induce him into all of these things, like they're practically, how do I explain it? This is the moment in which it's basically, I don't know, probably they saved his heartbeat, but they didn't let all of the rest live. In medical terms, that tends to happen. Like, you may have a heartbeat, but the brain doesn't respond anymore. And like I said, I think the only part of himself that is left alive is his soul. So yeah, pretty much let's go with that, okay? So I think it's that part in which he's, let's say this comes right after the operation, and right in this moment he enters in this is a state in which he's, he's dead. And that's why this is so much symbolism in here, because he's kind of still alive but he's dead at the same time, and they're putting him in a coffin. And this is so symbolic for me. I'm gonna stop pausing in the wrong moment. This is so symbolic to me because this is the moment in which he is basically buried alive, which is, I don't know, maybe it is one of the things that happen when you are dead but not completely, like you have a little slight of consciousness. And if we're talking about the fact that, I don't know, his soul is the only thing that's lastly alive on himself, it's this kind of thing in which maybe he feels trapped inside his body, and the coffin is a symbolism for that he's being buried alive. Especially because he begins to drown now, because the water enters the coffin, and he's drowning. So I think it's that. See, bury me alive. That helps a lot. And I won't give up without a fight. I think like he's fighting for that. And the "if you love me, let me go" to me is very simplistic in the sense of, okay, this is happening because I want to go. I really, really, really want to go. I'm still pausing at the wrong time. You can see that. But it doesn't matter. Not at this point in the video. So, he escapes from that. So, let's say this is the moment. See? And the doctors are chasing him. So let's say that the doctors are holding him alive and he doesn't want them to hold him alive. So I do believe that this is the moment in which like he is flatlining for the second time, in which like he's missing his heartbeat and the doctors are like coming right up there, and he only feels like drowning, like he's trapped in this place alone and he wants to die because living is just too much on him. And like he wants to go to a better place, whatever that may be. We know it's not a good place, but anyways, I think that's the moment, in which he kind of is like dying for the second time after they revived him on the table before, and the doctors are right out there chasing him. One of the parts that makes me think the most in the video. See this moment. There's rope inside of his body. And this is so freaking significant to me because I believe that that's a metaphor for him being tied up to his body, even though he doesn't want to be in his body anymore, His soul doesn't want to be in his body anymore. So he wants to leave, he wants to go, but everything is tying him up to his body, to his... to everything that anchors him to earth. And I think that that's brilliant to me. This scene is so brilliant. I mean, I feel like so many people get confused when they get to this part of the video and they just get, oh my god, this is full of rope. And I'm just here like, no, that's fucking genius. That's fucking genius, because if you come to see after this, they are pulling the ropes and they are tying him up with it. The doctors are operating on him once again, and they are still tying him to his body, and he's trying to get free from all of that because he fucking wants to die. And I don't know, that's just... See? And that's all it happens in here. So see, I feel like that's what's happening in here. And then he finally gets free, and he dies. So hear me out. That video ends with him basically dying, and the heartbeat stops right there. it stops, you know. And I think that's so freaking symbolic. And in the whole video, and I'm probably missing some things out there. But if you're noticing them, please leave them in the comments, seriously. No, but this is such an interesting video because I don't know, from the visuals you can tell a lot. And it's so, oh god. I actually, it's one of my favorites from Panic. And it's so pretty much invented because the choreography is impressive and it tells a good story, and like the story is there. I have watched it a million times, so yeah, obviously I have a different take on the story than the people who have seen it just once. But still, the story is there and it's marvelously told, and I love it. And it's so pretty significant because it is the fact that, oh my god, yeah, he went through all of these lives. I don't know. Let's say he was a fucking criminal, because he was basically. He stole a fucking Devil's key. And okay, he was a criminal, all of that. And he basically has all that there is, you know, for this video to then continue and just start out, because all of us know how Emperor's New Clothes starts, and it's just the ending of This Is Gospel, him getting to the gates of heaven and then going to fucking hell and transforming into a demon. Because if Brendan is not dying in a video, he's probably getting murdered or transforming himself in some kind of cult creature. Yeah, or getting eaten by his pulp girlfriend. Yeah, so because Panic videos are weird shit. They are weird shit. Anyway, so I think it's this is pretty much the oh god, it's the best transition they could have thought of for the story from Say Amen. Of course, This Is Gospel came first, but it is so interesting to see the visuals of this video and just go ahead and just see how they tied up in the story and how it means that, oh fucking god, he wanted to die, you know. And then you see that he was freaking surprised that he get to heaven, and then he drops. So yeah, that's basically pretty much all I have to say right now, and I don't have any more time because there's starting to be many sounds around, and I'm just getting frustrated by it. But anyway, that's basically how what I think of this video. These are my thoughts. These are how I perceive it. You know, there are so many things that are happening from the beginning of the video until the end that tell you that basically in the storytelling of the visuals. I'm not talking just about the song. I'm talking about the visuals, because I think that the song is very hopeful, but the visuals, according to visuals, I believe that he is basically half dead when he gets there, and then he is trying all along to die and to get apart from his body and to finally cross to the other side while the doctors are trying to keep him alive and all of that. So yeah, if you have anything to say, really, your comments are more than welcome. I would love to read them. It would be so fun, especially because I don't know so many people. I don't know much people who like Panic at the Disco, and I would like to talk with them and all that, because first of all, vocals amazing. I already said I'm a fan, big fan. So I'm in love with that man. I'm in love with his vocals, and his songs are freaking dope as fuck. So yeah. Anyways, that was it. I'm sorry for the lighting. Like I said, I had the right timing to film. There was a lot of light and all of that, but people screw me over. So, well, if you like this, and if you want to see anything else, or if you have a video for me to like watch a million times so I can get every single little thing out and, I don't know, analyze it and all of that, because it's much funnier than doing reactions, because I don't have many reactions when I watch something. I tend to be paying attention to the lyrics and the visuals, so I don't talk a lot. So Leave them down in the comments, and that's it. See you next time. And let's not forget it. Don't forget to be positive, kind, and curious. Goodbye.